Following the terrible deaths of mutant leaders Professor X and Magneto, Marvel has revealed the X-Men's New World Order. With the release of Marvel's Inferno #4 this week, the present House of X era of the X-Men hit a turning point. Additionally, we will touch on the other important Marvel news that you need to know about. Stay tuned for all the juicy inside details. Marvel reveals X-Men's New World Order. Here's everything you need to know. Following the terrible deaths of mutant leaders Professor X and Magneto, Marvel has revealed the X-Men's New World Order. As Mystique and Destiny attempt to end the threat posed by Moira X and her many lives, the deepest truths from the X-Men's new mutant nation, Krakoa, were revealed. Magneto and Charles Xavier wind themselves into a battle for their life while attempting to save Moira, and it does not go well. Moira's severed limb and the path within were used by Mystique and Destiny to lure Xavier and Magneto into entering the Lion's Den, which served as an operating base for Orchis, humanity's latest anti-mutant coalition. The facility was visited by the Omega Sentinel and the new form of Njord, which Orchis has brought online, in addition to Orchis soldiers and scientists, with plenty of anti-mutant weapons. In Hell #4, Omega Sentinel and Nimrod put the glove on the Orchis squad by slaughtering them all and declaring their independence in the name of the machine race. House of X and Moira X's many incarnations have presented a bleak vision of the future. It appears certain that man, mutant, or both would go to battle with technology at some point in the future. In this timeline, Nimrod and the Omega Sentinel aim to hasten that process by assassinating Professor X and Magneto. Both Xavier and Magneto unleash their forces against their nightmare machine opponents, resulting in a deadly combat. That fight finishes in a draw. Nimrod has Xavier in his death grasp, but Magneto is just as eager to tear the Omega Sentinel apart using his powers. Magneto succeeds in tearing the Omega Sentinel to shreds, but Omega's cybernetic shape allows her to use a shredded hand to activate a power damper, effectively shutting down Magneto's abilities. Magneto is quickly blown in half by Nimrod, who greets the bodies of mutant chic leaders with open arms. The X-Men have ultimately conquered death with their new Krakoan ways of resurrection. Therefore, Xavier and Magneto will not be dead for long, according to Marvel fans who have been following this House of X narrative. However, when Charles and Eric awaken in the cradle, they discover that the game has changed dramatically. Moira X's mutant strength is taken away by Destiny and Mystique, but she is not killed. Instead, the White Queen ultimately tells everyone in Krakoa's quiet council the truth about Moira's life. Xavier and Magneto are no longer the country's true rulers. Intense, right? Spider-Man producers and writers claim big Marvel characters were cut from No Way Home. For Spider-Man No Way Home, according to the writers, some major Marvel characters were left out of the Spider-Man sequel. Spider-Man No Way Home is the newest installment in the Marvel Cinematic Universe's Phase 4 and was one of the most anticipated films of 2021. The film immediately followed the events of its predecessor, Spider-Man Far From Home, and concluded John Watts' Homecoming trilogy. For most Marvel fans, the wait was well worth it, as Spider-Man No Way Home has received acclaim. In just 6 days, the film shattered box office records and became the highest-grossing US picture of 2021. While there were enough people to remember, Spider-Man No Way Home left out a few key figures. Chris McKenna and Eric Somers, screenwriters for Spider-Man Homecoming, spoke with Yahoo about their work on the film. McKenna noted that some figures were kept off the table, since they had to balance the narrative of prior villains with Tom Holland's arc as Peter Parker. The writers couldn't reveal the identities of the characters, only that they were, quote, big. Making a statement about it, he stated, "I don't know if we're allowed to, honestly, but there were big characters, but almost too big, because it always became a balancing act of how do we tell not only a story with all these awesome villains that we know we want to bring into this movie, the classic ones, but also how do we still make this a Tom Holland Peter Parker story so that he's not completely overshadowed? Because at the end of the day, it's not going to be a great Spider-Man movie if you're not telling an emotional Peter Parker story. We had these riches that we had to, this giant idea with all these great actors, but also we had to tell a story that felt like we were telling a personal story for our main character." Although disappointing for some, this was obviously the best decision overall and contributed to this film being regarded as one of the best. Sony has previously struggled with cramming too many characters into a single film. The inclusion of Venom, Sandman, and New Goblin in a 2-hour picture was questioned in Raimi's Spider-Man 3, along with The Amazing Spider-Man 2, which had the same problem in 2014 with Electro, Green Goblin, and Rhino. Despite the fact that Spider-Man No Way Home featured 5 villains, 3 incarnations of Spider-Man, Daredevil, and Doctor Strange, the picture was able to balance everyone's plot. Because McKenna wouldn't say which characters were removed, it's possible they'll show up in a future film. Venom is the most probable character to be eliminated, given Sony and Marvel have previously foreshadowed a Spider-Man Venom showdown. Before they went the multiverse way, Kraven the Hunter was supposed to be a villain in Spider-Man No Way Home, so that could be the character McKenna is alluding to. America Chavez was scheduled to make an appearance in Spider-Man No Way Home, according to the concept art. The options, on the other hand, are absolutely endless. Biggest Marvel movies of 2022. After enduring the entire year of 2020 without a new Marvel Cinematic Universe entry, 2021 has been a busy year for Marvel fans. Black Widow, Shang-Chi, and Eternals, as well as WandaVision, The Falcon and the Winter Soldier, and Loki on Disney Plus have all been released this year. It's starting to look like 2022 will also be a big year for the Marvel Universe. Here are some of the biggest Marvel releases of 2022. Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, May 6th. The long-awaited Doctor Strange sequel, the first proper MCU film of 2022, sees Sam Raimi, the man behind the original Spider-Man trilogy, return triumphantly to the director's chair of a superhero film. While the premise of the film is yet unknown, Doctor Strange, Benedict Cumberbatch, will be joined by Scarlet Witch, Elizabeth Olsen, who will pick up where WandaVision left off. Xochitl Gomez will also join the cast as America Chavez, a newcomer hero, and Benedict Wong, Rachel McAdams, and Chiwetel Ejiofor will reprise their roles as Wong, Christine Palmer, and Carl Mordo, respectively, from the original film. On May 6, 2022, Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness will cast its spell on theaters. Thor: Love and Thunder, July 8th. Thor Ragnarok is a straight sequel, meaning Chris Hemsworth's Thor, the first MCU hero, gets a fourth solo film. Jane Foster, Natalie Portman, returns as Mjolnir's newest wielding, while Taika Waititi returns as director, and in the character of Korg, to adapt Jason Aaron's groundbreaking comic run. Christian Bale and Russell Crowe join the cast as Gore, the God of Butcher, and Zeus, respectively. Star-Lord, Drax, Groot, Mantis, Nebula, and Kraglin from the Guardians of the Galaxy flicks all return, as do Jamie Alexander and Jeff Goldblum as Lady Sif and the Grand Master. On July 8th, 2022, Thor: Love and Thunder will hit theaters. Black Panther: Wakanda Forever, November 11th. Finally, the last Marvel picture, which will be released in 2022, is also the most mysterious at the moment. Following Chadwick Boseman's unexpected death, it's unclear who will play the film's protagonist and, more than likely, the role of Black Panther. However, it has been revealed that Ryan Coogler, along with the majority of the actors from the original film, will return as director. Nakia, Okoye, Shuri, Baku, Queen Mother Ramonda, and Everett K. Ross will be played by Lupita Nyong'o, Danai Gurira, Letitia Wright, Winston Duke, Angela Bassett, and Martin Friedman, respectively. Riri Williams, Dominique Thorne, star of the upcoming Ironheart series on Disney Plus, is the sole new character revealed thus far, though it's been rumored that Namor the Submariner will make his MCU debut to menace Wakanda's defenses. No official information on the film's antagonist has been provided. On November 11th, 2021, Black Panther: Wakanda Forever will claw its way into theaters. And there you have it, everything you need to know about Marvel and how they have revealed the New World Order after the insanely brutal deaths of Magneto and Xavier. Additionally, we also touched on the recent news that came out where the Spider-Man No Way Home creators claim that some big-name actors and characters were cut from No Way Home. Finally, some of the biggest Marvel films coming out in 2022. Make sure to let us know your thoughts down below. If you enjoyed today's video, don't forget to like and subscribe so you never miss any of our new and upcoming content. Thanks for watching.